and welcome to the RPG Blender, where we give lesser played games or forgotten settings the roll the dice they deserve. I'm your host, Game Master George, thrilled to welcome you to the next chapter in our adventure. Our heroes have finally concluded their business in Nechara. What new challenges await as they enter the wider world? Find out as we explore a new land of power and ancient secrets in Exalted to Mahalanka. Hello and welcome to the RPG Blender. I am your host, Game Master George, as we return to the world of Exalted, finally ready to leave the beach episode city of Nechara after 30 episodes, I think it's been by now, maybe more. Yeah.
Got a couple more errands to do.
Don't talk better about that at all.
Before we started.
I needed to buy my tea set. I didn't get that yet.
We should probably let the council members not hide anymore. That's probably good.
No, all that's been taken care of in 16 days. All that's done. We're all done.
Rich wants to leave Nechara.
I wanted to leave when they were messing around the cloth store. I was like, why are you guys doing so much here? We need to go.
Well, before we get too much further into that, let's meet our cast. First up, since he was just talking, let's go with Rich. Say hello, Rich.
Hey, everybody. I'm Rich. I also play Smiling Mountain. I don't have to give you fun facts anymore. That's the end.
That's right. Somebody else is going to ask you a fun fact question. Who's it going to be?
I don't know. Who is it?
It's going to be Adramalik.
Ooh.
Greg.
When's your birthday?
All right, we're doing the birthdays. Okay. When's your birthday?
My birthday is, I just had it up. How dare I? It's fire something. Resplendent Fire the 3rd.
The 3rd of Resplendent Fire. Okay. And then we have, well, I don't get to torture you with fun facts this time, so it's not really any kind of punishment to have to go next. So Greg, say hello, Greg.
Hello. Yes, hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hope you're doing great. Happy New Year. This episode might not air until halfway through the new year, but who knows? Happy New Year anyways. It's a nice year. I play Adramalik. I don't know when this episode's airing. You never know. They might even watch it like a couple months. Oh, God. My question, ask me, please. Someone save me from myself.
When's your birthday?
My birthday is also in the month of Resplendent Fire, and I'm not doing that just to copy Rich. We rolled for this, and it is in fact the 25th of Resplendent Fire. Thank you.
All right, and then we have Craig. Say hello, Craig.
Howdy, everybody. It's me, Craig, playing Dirham Barath. Happy to be here. I'm just going to write down a birthday to make sure I don't forget that. Yeah.
Ask him something different.
Who wants to ask me a question?
Okay. Yep. I guess I'll ask you the question then. When is the day of your exaltation? No. When is your birthday? When's your birthday?
My birthday is the 7th of Ascending Earth.
All right. Good to know. Can't wait to get to use all those omens against you guys. Anyway, last time on Exalted, oh my gosh. What did you do last time?
Good question.
We beat up.
Yes, you did.
Some
You
of the broken
fought.
horn
Oh
chart.
man, you fought. You fought for your lives against the spider and the snake. The only names you know these creatures by. While Lore of Autumn sat above you, watching seemingly. Not actually engaging directly in the fight, although Adramalik did see her potentially readying herself to jump in. The fight seemed to take a good turn when the spider was quickly taken down. However, the snake was then able to launch a very devastating blow into Mountain, nearly taking him out with a fight of their fangs. However, they were able to triumph against these foes and then arrange the meeting with Lore. That after Mountain had had time to recover, they would be on their way to the city of Mahalanka to meet with Roxy, the cannibal queen.
Yeah.
And now when we pick up today, this time has passed. You find yourselves there, Lore of Autumn waiting for you with a carriage drawn by some fairly magnificent horses, waiting by your boat to pick you up. The carriage is large enough for Mountain and is opulent. You have all seen very, very fine carriages in your days, as you've all experienced wealth through your travels or your childhood. This very much rivals, if not exceeds, some of the wildest opulence you've ever seen. Golden filigree, precious stones inlaid along the edges, a white wood making it up, which is pristine, almost as if never touching dirt in its life. No coachman sits out front, and there is ample space inside for all four of you.
So before we get to the carriage, I look at Adramalik and I say, Adramalik, because we'll probably not have much privacy from here, from the time we get to the Queen. You need to be on your best behavior for the Queen.
But I know that. I've
I
spoken
need-
to queens before, you know. Probably
No.
more queens than you have, all right? Let's not kid ourselves here.
Adramalik, I have no doubt you've spoken to many more queens than I have.
It's fine. As he says this, he kind of like drapes his hand on the fancy carriage and begins picking at some of the encrusted gemstones and like placing them in his pocket, and then like taking tiny marbles that he won from the guy and putting them back in where he removed the gem.
As soon as I see you try to pick at stuff, I immediately just slowly start taking your fingerprints, and I'm like, Adramalik.
I use my drifting, my 7 shadow step evasion, and I avoid your hand.
All right, I'll take an opposed larceny versus athletics. Larceny
No,
versus
sh-
athletics.
7 shadow evasion.
Oh, right, you're using your
instantly
perfect dodge.
I waste my perfect dodge to avoid your hand.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be so patient right now.
Oh,
Adramalik,
our little troll. It's delightful.
I don't
I'm going to be fine. You can trust me. Dirham, trust me. Look, he didn't say anything.
Dirham is off on the side. You see him loading his Dragon Sai wand and just like calibrating it, and he looks up. What was that?
See? You're nothing to worry about.
Okay.
I give him a big smile, and I sidle into the fancy carriage, pocketing the gems that I've acquired.
If you have to kill him, it's not, I said it to Laura as I get in.
I don't particularly intend to kill any of you at this point. I
said have to. It's fine.
I think my allegiances have been chosen for me. I know. Yes.
That's
Shall
good to
we?
hear. Yes, and Dirham hops into the carriage.
That would concern me had I heard it.
Oh, I definitely
Allegiances
would have.
have been chosen for her. Oh no.
Laura doesn't seem to think much for herself, which I've gotten very early on.
All right.
Okay.
You all make your way into the carriage.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And we're not going to throw a monkey wrench in your thing and be like, no,
I'm waiting for it. I'm
Hold on
waiting
a
for you guys to
second. Hold
hijack the
on.
carriage on the way.
We got a couple of other ideas we wanted to pitch.
You're gonna bring a council member with you.
Right. The old man, obviously. That guy's got to go.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for
I
absolutely.
need to win back my marbles because I use them to replace the gems in the carriage. So I'll take the marble. No, I'm kidding. All right, I'm done.
Just pick him again.
Okay.
Sure.
As you all make your way into the carriage, settling yourselves inside on the plush velvet seats, far more comfort than you're used to in your recent travels or living on a boat. Even you, Adramalik, this is more than you're used to with your cult. There is a box in the far side, which is oddly chill to the touch. And inside of it, you find refreshments, a large amount of them, clearly meant for someone of Mountain's stature.
So happy, and I do not eat those.
Yes. When the box shuts and is reopened at a later time, you find that it has at least partially refilled, depending upon how long it has been since it was last opened.
Irem obviously goes over and begins fawning over this thing and poking around and tinkering and trying to figure out what's going on, what magics are at work.
Move your hand, Dirham. I need to get more of the wine. Excuse me, please.
He just opens it, gives a bottle, and just keeps working on it.
Thank you.
The wine is exquisite. It is perfectly tart with a richness and flavor. The alcohol itself immediately begins to sink into your bones with that familiar warmth, and you find yourself very quickly in your happy place, I suppose.
Wow, this is magical. I definitely fall asleep in this caravan.
She's trying to win us over. It's working.
The carriage begins to moving quickly through the city of Nechara, making its way to the gates, where it gives only a token moment to allow for the gate to open, and then heads out of the city, out into the woods. And once out of eyesight of the town, it begins to lift off of the ground.
This thing flies?
Of course it flies. It's been flying for like the past 2 hours, hasn't it?
Go back to sleep, Adramalik, and
Okay.
poke his head out of the carriage itself and just like take in the details.
As you poke your head out the window, the wheel, you have indeed left the ground, and as you look ahead, you can see that those magnificent horses have now sprouted wings. You can see glorious golden harnesses running down there now, nearly metallic-looking flesh, with the wings of resplendent grace pounding and driving the carriage now into the air.
Lore is in here with us, correct?
Correct.
As Dirham is head out the window as he's looking at it, he'll Lore, what are those things?
Oh, they're some creation of my mistress's. She hasn't yet given me the exact specifications, I suppose.
She made those.
Yes.
Pretty cool. That's pretty cool, dear. You can't make flying horses yet, so I mean, that's...
You're right. I can't make flying horses.
There's
You
a
can
reason.
make a shadow horse that could go through grounds. It doesn't fly, but if you count the earth as air, it could fly through the earth. So
We don't.
There is a
did she make-
reason that she is sought for her wisdom with the sorceress arts.
Did she make this carriage as well, or is this an inheritance of her of war?
I do not know. I've not ridden in this particular carriage before.
Either way, she has good taste or a good eye. Well, I guess it could be both, but kudos.
All right. And you begin making your way through the skies toward Mahalanka.
How fast are we moving? Wildly?
Wildly fast. A journey that would, I'll give you the numbers here.
Scroll some numbers.
Also, just a question. Are we at like a 45-degree angle because of how the horses are harnessed, or are we like level?
You are level.
Feels level.
Wow.
Nice.
That's good aerodynamics. That's impressive.
That's some quality sorcery, baby.
Yes.
They don't
A
make them
journey-
this way anymore. So,
A journey that would have taken you over 50 days by horse takes a mere week on these beasts.
Wow.
Dirham will
As-
actively use the time to actually study that icebox and try and figure out the intricacies of the sorcerer's workings. Put that in his own little brain bank.
Yeah, I encourage you to do that this whole trip. I'm like, yeah, figure
Give
it
me your
out.
intelligence occult roll
Oh yeah, we're gonna make this happen. This is
with specialty in artifacts, I believe. You have that specialty,
It's
correct?
happening. Yes, I certainly
Is this
do.
an ambush?
Is this an ambush? You gotta let me know. Okay. Intelligence, craft for artifact, 4 + 4.
But
Boop, 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 boop.
it would be
Right.
intelligence occult.
Oh, intelligence occult. Oh, I don't have a specialty in occult for artifacts. I have a
Uh,
specialty in craft for artifact.
Do you have
That's fine.
where's your I thought you had one in lore or occult. You don't?
I
It's
have
only in
oh,
craft?
I have it in lore. I have lore
Ah.
artifacts and I have craft artifacts.
Got it. So that will apply when knowing to know the history of artifacts.
Alrighty, first roll. Let's see what we get. We got 2 10s and a 9. 5
Nice.
successes.
5 successes. Okay. As you begin looking at it, there's clear geomantic magic at work here. There's probably a small spirit of air trapped within it, keeping this box cool. The refilling of it, however, is escaping your grasp currently.
It's probably like how you photocopied a thing.
I could make maybe it's a consistent form of that based on what's in it, that it will slowly replicate what still exists in it. So you probably don't want to. Let's take everything out of it and see if it repopulates. Here, come on. And he starts opening it and pulls.
Well, no. What if it doesn't? I don't want to do that.
Well, then
Keep
we'll put it
pass it-
back in.
pass it
But
over-
it'll work.
pass it-
It'll work.
I'll
Don't drink it all.
taste-
We want to keep some just in case it does replicate. Don't drink it
Well,
all,
the
Adramalik.
food demon will probably just make more. What was it?
I don't think there's such a thing as a
The
food
food
demon, Adramalik. That's not a thing.
There are demons
there's-
that are food if you would like some.
No. We're okay. Thank you. Keep the food demons to yourself. And he closes the box and gives it some time. And like over the course of the trip, we'll like test to see, puts a bottle in, just to like.
It always refills, but it refills at a moderate pace. It's clearly meant to be replenishing as sustenance is taken from it at a regular plus mountain rate.
So there's just a pile of food like in our carriage, just idly sloshing about as we're flying, and then I open it and there's more popping in there.
Eventually.
Uba is going to town.
I was gonna say, I
is-
give you a little time, but
Uba's completely laid back, like arms completely outstretched, like sitting there as food like slides into his mouth, like, and his belly is like engorged. It's like the size of an apple.
Lord, you don't mind if we take some of this, right? I mean, it's near infinite food. It seems wasteful to not.
Well, the food is not infinite, I don't believe. But yes, by all means, this is for your pleasure on the way to the city of 1,000 golden delights.
that's such a cool name.
Wow. Okay, so this is 1, and the carriage is 2. What are the other 998? I don't know.
Did you grow up there, Laura?
No,
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up to the north to the northeast, far in the threshold, but I traveled a lot.
Is that where I'm from?
I believe you are straight up from the north. You are probably from around Fortitude, would be my guess. Somewhere near the mountains in the north, correct? Yeah.
Yes.
So somewhere between Fortitude and either Gethsemane or Whitewall. So you perhaps you have family in Gethsemane.
Maybe, but I'll bring it up either way. I go, oh, nice, and I just keep eating my big giant sandwiches.
I definitely slide like excess food over the mountain to stuff into his bag.
I came to Mahalanka to seek Roxy's tutelage. It was an interesting experience.
Did you know what you were when you got there?
I knew the basics, and I had met others of my kind. Yes, Luna gave me some words when I became what I was, and gave me a little guidance. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yes.
The moon.
The moon spoke to you.
Yes.
Of
That's
course.
different than ours.
Dear,
Sure.
yeah. And dear,
I just blurted out.
attempts to poker face the yeah, and that didn't interesting.
Yeah, I know everyone keeps calling us sunlings and inferring that we have a lot to do with the sun, but we don't. Like, the sun doesn't talk to me. It doesn't.
Well, I don't know much about that. I haven't met really many of your kind before, so I don't have much first-hand knowledge, but I suppose it's different for everyone, dependent on your origin.
What's curious to me is you say you've met so many other of your kind, but I know for a fact that the Order does hunt down lunar as they do solar, and normally they try and catch you at the moment of Exalt, so I wonder if that means that they're slipping. If so many of us pass the net, all of us are relatively around the same age. Obviously you Exalted much more before us, but this is not a small number.
There are limits to their reach. I was far outside of their realm, near to the wild.
When you Exalted? Do we know that word, by the way? Because I won't say it if we don't know it. Or when you changed, I'll say.
Yes, when I exalted, that's...
It's a good term. I feel like we should coin that. It's a good one,
I
and
said it!
I like it.
Many of our
It's an-
kind choose to keep to those fringes of society. Does them well?
Have you ever been in the wild?
There's a pause. Yes, I have.
We two for a little bit.
That's pretty cool. I would very much like to try and be in the wild. That would be pretty cool, I think.
I don't think you would.
You don't.
I want to take a nap. Good night.
Do want to do that, yes. Deerham looks at Laura and says, you said you sought out Roxy, is that correct?
Yes.
Why exactly? I mean, someone known as the Cannibal Queen is not exactly the kindest of terms. Powerful, yes, but not one that I think the average individual would willingly go to.
Brave for sure.
When one is searching for knowledges lost in time, one must look to the elders.
How old is she?
Old.
Wow.
She says that she is from the time before, that she saw the age before this, when your kind ruled.
I haven't heard many good things about that time. I say just very candidly. I'm like, doesn't seem like it was a good time. So the fact that she's willing to talk with us, hope bodes well for us.
Deerham turns.
The awkward silence resumes. Any other?
I'm probably making small talk a lot of the way.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, I know how it works.
Uba and Ajamalik begin snoring in unison together.
Could just push him out. No one would know.
Roughly 6 days out on your journey, you spy. All right, we're here to roll dice. Roll the dice. Perception awareness.
Yes! Is this an ambush?
Sky ambush. You have to tell us if it's
The
an
ambush is the floor drops out from the carriage. You all plummet to your deaths. I believe that is just straight up.
I use my once per scene dodge to dodge falling.
You dodge the earth. You come out on the other side of creation, fall into the wild, and
I put my head out the window to see something, and a sparrow flies right into my eye. I botched.
You didn't.
I did. I fucking botched. I botched hard. I even gave it a little 2-pump. I was like, I'll give it a little 2-pump. Give myself something magical. I got 0 successes and 3 ones. So yeah, I got.
You have not been up in the sky very much. The sunlight just immediately pierces your eyes.
Oh, is that the sun talking to me? Fucking sun. Oh, no.
What did the other two get?
Dirham got a 1.
I got 3. I was a little hungover. I know it's
Wow.
been 6 days, but I've been drinking every day. So
Not
I'm
a great
just
start, but it's not a combat session. So
always hungover.
Yeah,
It's always a
Dirham is,
potential for a combat session with that.
Dirham is more focused on the intricacies of the carriage and the creatures than anything else.
Adramalik, you spot on the horizon, far in the distance, a glint, just the briefest glint of something.
Oh my god, is it the Golden City? Holy crap. Is it actually made of gold? Oh my god. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Adjamalik's like, I think the sun is over there, but it's also over there. That's not right. Does anyone else see that shiny in the distance?
nope. I say, and I'm just rubbing my eyes, and I get Adramalik some water, and I'm like, here you go, buddy. We're gonna sober up. We're almost there.
No, I swear, I thought, okay, yeah, that's probably best. That's probably for the best.
And you keep on going in that direction. It is about half a day more before Adramalik is proven correct, and you begin to see what look like towers rising far above the tree line.
Fully made out of gold, like golden towers.
No, not
Oh.
gold. These towers, as you draw nearer, are of metal, yes, but a pale, almost silvery metal that rises high, hundreds and hundreds of feet into the air, in almost a skeletal structure with large walls of glass spanning between them.
What?
Glass?
Mhm.
Like connecting the 2 pillars?
No, like imagine
They are-
a skeletal structure rising up into the sky and
I know
then
what it
panes
is.
of glass in between them, forming the tower itself.
So a large tower, square
Made
like
of
perhaps in
metal
shape,
and glass.
made of glass and metal.
Me and Craig are trying right now, man.
Kind of looks like a
No,
sky.
Don't say it! Don't say it!
Oh, I got it now. I'm a dummy. Okay.
As you draw nearer, you can see that they are fairly run down. Bits have broken and crumbled off from the top, and you can see vines that are snaking their way up these massive structures. And the reason that you could see so clearly as you draw nearer is a large, huge swath of the forest around these towers has been cleared completely. You
Right.
can see the bustling city beneath it.
They do that so if you go to invade them, they can see you from further out. It's very smart.
The river running down the center of this city with much smaller buildings around. Those you can see are more familiar to your standard make. No more of these massive towers. You spot a number of them, but only 5 or 6 appear to be structurally sound at this point.
Well, this is pretty amazing.
Is
I've
the
never
whole
seen anything
area
like it.
the Queen's domain?
This and more. We have been within the Thousand Fangs army control zone for a couple of days now.
We have to talk to whoever the PR guy is here. No, that was definitely out of character. So we have to talk to whoever the PR guy is. Cannibal Queen, Thousand Fangs.
Yeah, they got a brand.
I would implore you to be careful.
In what
I'm
way?
always careful,
Oh,
as
you mean
Malik
him?
says,
Yes.
as he
No.
dangles a wine bottle out of his hand, which immediately he drops through the window behind him, which falls thousands of feet down to the forest floor. We're not in the city yet. It doesn't count. It's fine.
Laura, what do you mean? Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, if you'd be so kind.
My mistress is temperamental. Her reputation is not undeserved, but she can be quite reasonable when respect and care is taken around her.
So deference.
No.
We weren't supposed to bring like a tribute or
deference.
something, right? We weren't supposed to bring like a tithe or anything.
She respects strength,
Oh, then we're fine. I mean,
but will not tolerate
Disrespect.
impudence.
I look at
Lucky for
Adramalik.
us, none of us here are impudent. So it's smooth sailing.
Oh, I was waiting for him to say impotent instead of impudent.
Not that drug. Adramalik would never admit to that. maybe a Freudian slip, but
Just be aware. You may see things here that may challenge you, may be designed to break you.
I feel like this is information we could have had as we're stepping onto the carriage, so I'm definitely a little like,
Laura, I presume you have told her of much of our own endeavors and efforts.
Yes, she is aware.
Very
So
well.
the invitation is in good faith, as we are approaching on good faith.
Yes.
So that is all that matters for now.
How soon are we to meet?
Well, I don't know. When we land, I suppose someone will greet us. And as you cross the threshold at the clearing for this massive city, the carriage begins a descent into a section of the city that is walled off from the rest. It's just a low wall, but it is enough to visibly and clearly separate itself from the remainder of the city. Within this, you see 3 of these massive towers standing as primary spectacles within here. You can also see smaller sections walled off in wildlife preserves. And yes.
Well, that's cool. Adramalik, look.
it's so beautiful.
As
It's
it
so beautiful.
descends to the ground and lands near one of the 3 towers. The carriage touches onto the ground gently, ever so gently, and pulls up in front of this massive structure. And waiting there in front of you as it lands is a young girl.
I wait for Laura to lead in this instance, so when Laura gets out, then I'll follow it soon. And I say to other people, I say, try and follow my lead.
Okay, Lore does indeed leave and step off to the side.
God damn it, you would, Laura.
Adramalik will
I
sort of
get
wait for Smiling Mountain to move because you're like the bigger
Yeah.
one. Can't really saddle past you.
Yeah, I get out and I immediately use my 1,000 manners charm and greet this servant and or person appropriately.
You guys can give me your perception awarenesses.
Oh boy. Don't botch this one, please.
Adramalik will dust himself off after Mountain gets out of the carriage. He will step out of the carriage onto the ground of Mahalanka. The first time he stepped foot on ground in some time now. His legs are a little wobbly, but as soon as he straightens out, his posture becomes much more refined, sort of taking in his tutelage from a young age in a higher court. And he puts on the air and demeanor of a civil servant, I guess. And he will walk right up next to Mountain, and he will politely look towards the girl. Do I get any stuntage for this?
I'm not sure how that's a stunt for perception, but sure.
Because I am now in a position
Sure.
looking at, I don't know.
You can have a dot stunt.
Too kind.
I got a 1. There's something about this place that we are that makes me roll bad, and I don't like it.
There's no city.
forgot
Well,
one.
no, there you are in the city now. You're in probably this is a bigger city than you have been in. Although right now you're not really in the city
That
proper,
was-
but
1,
you know.
2, 3, 4, 5,
Still
6,
surrounded
7, 8.
by gigantic towers.
That was 10 dice, and I got 1 success.
I rolled 8
Oh
dice and I got
my
1
gosh.
success. So Dirham's got to carry this.
Yeah, Dirham watches his companions and their mannerisms, but makes a point to observe Lore and see what she's up to in her posture and positioning in regards to this little girl. And as he gets out, as he is often to do, scans the horizon, sizing up the towers, looking at locations, seeing if there's any other activity, just immediately trying to get as much grounding as possible in this foreign land.
Okay. You can have a dot stunt as well, and you can also give me your read intentions on Lore.
I got a 5 for my perception awareness.
Okay, so we have a 5, a 1, and a what, Adramalik?
Also a 1.
Lovely.
And for read intentions, what is read intentions again? That's
Perception, socialize.
perception social.
Which you're better at now.
Hey, look at that
My-
training coming in clutch.
My boy taught me how to not be so much of a cold, unfeeling creature.
He was finally like, "Look, Dirham, you really need to learn how to talk to people."
Well,
Like,
just chill. Can you chill for like 1 minute? And I got a 3 for read intention.
3 for read intention.
Nice.
You are not getting much off of Lore
Mm.
as you do not beat her guile.
Mm-hmm.
But with your 5, not with your 1s, unfortunately. With your 1s, you see that this is a young-looking girl, probably about 11, 12 years old, long dark hair, pale skin, in nice clothing, not quite the finest that it could be, but still obviously well cared for. Dirham, in addition to all of that, you also notice that her wrists bend backwards.
Can I just throw like a quick, I don't know, feels like medicine or something to be like, is that normal? Is that actually her anatomy, or is this
You can give me a lore.
Oh, that's good. I'll do that. I'll do
Is she a Raksasha?
a lore. Is that intelligence lore?
Intelligence lore.
Okay. 1, 2, 3 for my lore.
I'm
and
concerned.
3, 4 for my intelligence.
I'm concerned now.
I don't know about it, so I'm not.
And that is 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay. As you think to your knowledge, your studies, what little you knew about Roxy, you do remember rumors of an unnatural sign about her, of her hands, something with them. Not specifically what they are, but conclusions.
I don't know who this person is, and unfortunately, unless I'm interrupted very quickly, I move to my female deference, which is you are of a higher class anyway because you're a lady.
Mm-hmm.
So I give that. I don't give incredible deference, but I do give like a formal bow as we appropriate in this land. Not one for royalty because I don't know, but you know. Your
charm, does it magically make you do exactly what's appropriate for the other person or the local customs?
I believe it's local customs.
Okay. So it doesn't. So basically, if you meet a king in disguise, you're going to treat him like his disguise. It's not going to alert you that this is a king.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said I would treat her like I'd be like, oh, you're higher class because you're a woman, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not like muck.
Yep.
So yeah. Hello.
Welcome. I'm thrilled to have you here, my new honored guests. Please avail yourselves of the hospitality of Roxy. It is a pleasure to have you here.
At this point, Dirham will walk up next to his,
please do something.
his friend and simply say, "We're grateful for an audience with the Queen."
Of course. I am happy to be speaking with you. I have heard much about you from she gives a look over to Lore apprentice. So
now it clicks.
And as she looks, Dirham is just going to now, in everything settling in terms of who this truly is, will take a moment following her gaze over to Lore just to see how Lore is standing in acknowledgement, to see if there's any change from her getting out or what.
Okay. You can give me your roll.
Okay. Come on, give me something. Give me something. Pump this, right? Yeah, pump this.
I highly
social
doubt that you can
buffoon. That's 3.
Okay. Fortunately, 3 does not.
Still not beating the guy.
Still not beating it.
Lord has also told us much of you, which is why we were so incredibly interested in meeting you. Often you can learn a lot from someone by their company and those that take under their wing. And Lore's demeanor, professionalism, and skill speaks very highly of your choices.
She does not acknowledge that.
Cool. I still complimented Lore because Lore's cool.
Mm-hmm. So, if you would like to make yourselves comfortable, you may house yourselves, and she points to one of the large towers in the distance. Over there are accommodations for you. And then you may explore the city as you like. But I would request your company for dinner this evening.
It is most gracious of you. We humbly accept your invitation, and thank you for it.
Dirham gives a curt nod.
Now I know who she is, so if there's any other things I should be doing, now I'm doing it. I do know what to do with my hands.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
There are so many things I want to ask, but I'm just going to wait for dinner at this point.
Yeah,
and
seems appropriate.
You may walk if you choose and enjoy the bounteous nature here, or you may ride if you prefer the comforts. I hope it was a pleasurable journey.
Indeed, your creations are impressive, to say the least. I couldn't take my eyes off of most of your sorceress creations.
Their majesty knows no bounds.
You flatter me.
I love animals.
It's true.
Unless
She gives a smile and a wink.
unless my comrades here have any other opinions, I think a walk would be nice after our long ride.
Yes, let the animals rest.
Very well. Then please explore to your heart's content. Lore, will you be coming with me? Lore.
I'm gonna read her attention.
Yep.
Yeah, this
I'm
is
gonna read
spooky.
attention.
I'm scared.
Especially because she didn't respond to the compliment that I gave to Laura. So I'm kind of like,
Yeah, and Dirham obviously is trying to keep as aware of her, I guess, dynamic with Rocky.
Yeah,
You can try again
that was a lot of rolls and still.
if you like.
I'm not rolling
Try.
fire.
I
if
gotta
that was the last
try.
one.
It's hope against hope, but
I got
strike.
a 7.
I got a 1.
The 1 is insufficient. The 7, however, does very much pierce her guile. And there is just a momentary stiffening at that moment before she nods. Of course, my mistress. I'll be happy to come with you. And then the two of them head off back into this tower.
And we're staying in a different one, she pointed
In a
out.
different one, yes. You are staying on the map. The one that you were directed to is the Sanctum Concordant.
Then we will head there.
Before we do
Nice.
so, George, you said that all these towers are like a metal skeleton with glass surrounding them, correct?
Mhm.
Correct.
So then as Roxy and Lore walk off into that tower, presuming that there's glass in between as they start getting deeper in, Dirham is going to blink his eyes purposely and activate his keen sight technique and watch as far as they go in to see if dynamic and mannerism changes at all to catch any glints of what's going on here in regards to Lore with Roxy.
Okay. As they approach the door, two guards, beastmen of the ape folk variety, open the doors for them and allow them to enter. There is no direct action on that floor, but you can see that Lore is following a few steps behind as they make their way deeper inside, turn, and then head what looks like up at an angle up some stairs.
Yeah, as soon as they break line of sight with me for the
Mhm.
miles that I can see through, he'll shake his head and turn to the group. Okay, let's go.
Best behavior. I say. I just kind of like shake out what is not a good feeling that Mountain's having. So all right, let's go.
Generosity knows no bounds. This truly will be quite the night, gentlemen.
I put my hand on your shoulder and I say, I'm glad you're having a good time, buddy. Just
Oh, I'm having a great time right now. I can't wait to see what that time turns into as the night progresses. City of 1,000 delights. Oh, goodness.
I don't think I'm gonna go into the city. I think I'm gonna stay at the tower until dinner time.
Wow. Okay. So you make your way through. It is picturesque wildlife. The ground perfectly soft, perfectly cared for. Natural animals abound through this place as you make your way down the path that leads toward this tower. When you approach it, you see not beast folk outside. There is simply a mostly glass door with metal banding around it. And you can see inside what look like humanoids that are constructed of bronze. Very similar in appearance to the ones that you fought so long ago in Nexus, albeit not carrying spears and shields.
Interesting. Well, I'll head right in.
Okay, you head right in. As soon as you enter, the nearest one turns toward you. Welcome, visitors. You have been expected. You have quarters arranged for you on the 27th floor. Will you require an escort?
This would be helpful. Yes.
Very well. The creature then leads you over to a nearby doorway. They press their hand against it, and you can see almost a glow that begins to emit from around its hand in the wall. The doors open. You can see what looks like a small room, a small windowless room behind the door.
I go in. I mean, if they were going to kill us, they had a lot better opportunity than in the small windowless room.
Sure, I love the way you're describing this. it's very impressive. I enter the small windowless room.
You all enter the small windowless room. The creature follows you inside, presses its hand again against it, and the glow this time appears in the form of dots around its hands. And if you count, you can see that 27 of them appear around the hand. The room then, you feel it shudder slightly and then begin to rise. And as it does, the dots begin to disappear from around the hand.
Excuse me, sir. Are we able to operate this magnificent device by ourselves, or would we always need to have your presence required?
You know how to make a room fly?
No, that's why I'm asking, because if I would like to leave, I don't know how to get down.
With proper training, you would be able to operate this machinery. Yes, I believe one of your kind could do so. However, there will always be servants here ready to cater to your desire to leave. There are also stairs.
That will do. Thank you.
Do you have a name?
I am 4763.
Do you have a nickname, or you just like to be called that?
If you wish a nickname, you could simply call me 4763.
That's safe.
That is.
You got it, 4763. But the nickname.
Is there a 4762?
There was.
Do you mind if we ask what happened to him? Or her?
Them.
Them.
Or them?
I do not know. It has been a long time since they were operational. I am 4762 has been decommissioned for some time.
All right.
Mission. If we want to find help, you said there are other servants. Where should we look to find them?
You will find us wherever you need us.
Oh, and what do we call them? I don't know what the proper titles. I don't want to just say, hey, you. What are your kind called?
We are. It looks at you in puzzlement. I am.
Hiram at this point will put a hand on Adramalik's shoulder and just steady him.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you, 4763. If we need your help, we'll find you.
Does he lead us to our room?
Eventually, the numbers do count down, and he leads you out there. You can out through the doorway and down the hall to a number of doorways further down. You may have this suite here, directing toward Mountain, points toward another one for you, directing Adramalik, and yourself, Dirham, for a third further down. Your room, Dirham, is a few doors down from the ones that they were given. It is actually at the very end of the hallway. There are no doors further down it.
Are there doors in between their suites and mine?
Yes.
Dirham
Theirs
will-
are directly across from each other, but there is a gap of 3 doors between yours and theirs.
I wait just to see him go in, and I'm like, all right, that's where yours is. And then actually, tactically, I'm kind of like, that's weird.
Dirham will double take at the distance and then say to this being, are there other people staying here?
It quirks its head slightly. No, at present you are the only occupants.
In this floor or in the entire building?
In the entire building. Feel free to explore to your heart's content.
I don't mean to sound rude. Why are we on the 27th floor? Are there not rooms on the first floor?
Maybe this is the nicest place.
The first floor was consigned for art galleries.
Oh. And what about the second floor?
Here we go.
How dare you?
What about the third floor?
How
and
fucking dare you.
Ashramalik doesn't even go into his room. He'll just follow 4763 and asking him questions about all the different floors and everything.
Most even-numbered floors were for servant use, whereas the odd ones served designated functions. On the third floor, you will find what are some majestic concert halls.
Oh, I have not been to a concert in so long. 4763, you have to accompany me. This is truly going to be an incredible day. I also need, could you give me a piece of paper? I need to write a list of 1,000. I need to make sure I've hit everything.
You will find all comforts within your suite.
Let's give
Should you require anything else, please do not hesitate to ask.
All right, well, let's look inside of our rooms.
But there's so much to explore.
Dirham, instead of going to his room, will follow Mountain and Adramalik, or Mountain if Adramalik goes off on his merry way, but he'll stay there and check out what his room looks like first.
Yeah, what's my room look like?
Your room is well proportioned for yourself. It is a large room with majestic large furniture. Everything about it is immaculate. It is well crafted. It is well designed. You see some art pieces hanging on the walls. You see a nice wash basin, which
I don't
actually has some has some dials of some kind on it.
I'll figure that out as I go. But Mountain actually like looks taken aback. Like as he comes in, he does his like normal thing. So a general just as note, when Mountain goes into a place, he stoops into the doorway and instinctively lifts his hand to see how far up he can stand.
Mm.
And it's often not to completion, but it varies from house to house, so he tries to get as straight as he can. But here, if he touches and realizes he can stand up all the way, he is immediately elated. And seeing the furniture and stuff in his side, I rolled an integrity so I don't cry, but I'm like, oh, this is nice. This is pretty cool. All right.
Adramalik, do you go into your room? Do you go into Mountain's room? Do you just go off to explore?
I'm off with 4763, just checking out all the different floors. I'm checking the building before going to my suite. I want to get a taste of all that this place has to offer.
I'll come back to you then in just a moment. Theorem?
I'll follow you to your room.
After we like fully appraise his room, as we're alone, Deer will certainly say it's odd, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, my assumption is that you have that room because it's several off, because someone wants some privacy.
Who, me?
You didn't give us these rooms, huh? All right, come on, big boy, let's go see a room. Or because they're going to try and kill you quietly. One of those two things will be true. But I mean, again, if they were going to kill us, we were in the sky. That would have been a great time to kill us.
Yeah, just shoving us out the door would have been perfect.
Yeah. So I think this is maybe a room is really big and has a library, but I'm going to guess it's the privacy thing.
Okay, well.
Or maybe you have a really good view and they know that you appreciate artifacts and stuff, and that's why you're on the edge of the building,
Sure. And Dirham starts walking down the hallway to get to his room and open it up.
I try and clap your back. I'm like, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Your room does have a magnificent view. The glass walls, you find yourself actually at a corner of the building, so you have the panoramic view of this city. The furniture and everything within it is not quite as magnificent as what was in Mountain's room. It's still nice, but it's not as intricately carved and opulent. It is still far above what you are used to in your recent life. But what does probably draw your attention is the well-stocked shelves of books that line the one wall.
There it is.
Okay. And Dirham will slowly walk over to the bookcase and just sort of parse over the spines to see if there's any indication of what he's looking at right now.
What languages do you speak?
That's a great question, George.
Or what languages do you read, I suppose, is the better question.
I suppose whatever would be most commonplace in the Blessed Isle would be his most familiar language. Beyond that, what is it? You would, if you have, what is it? Linguistics?
I believe there is.
Or would it be a merit that would give you more languages?
That is what I believe it is. That is what I'm trying to find the write-up for.
I don't have many of those. So I think whatever language would be most relevant for the Blessed Isles is what.
Yeah. So you speak the common tongue.
Yep. There you go.
Language. Each purchase grants fluency in one language in addition to your native language. If you purchase linguistics, you're also literate in written forms. So the major languages are High Realm, which is the formal language. Low Realm, which is the common language. That's probably the one that you would speak.
I would think so.
So with that in mind, there are a few books that are in the language that you speak. However, there are many, many more that are in languages that you cannot identify, or rather can't understand.
Interesting.
It's only at this exact moment that I regret not knowing at least 2 languages.
Meanwhile, Adramalik, you make your way down the magic up-down box, or do you insist on the stairs?
I'll use the stairs this time because that also gives me some way to stretch my legs. I'm still a little wobbly, having been on an airplane basically for a while. So yeah.
All right. So you make your way down. He brings you down. Do you have a preference as to where we start?
Let's start from the bottom and work our way back up. I'm sure my friends are exploring their rooms, and by the time we're done, we could all probably head out to dinner. Or maybe head out and take in the rest of the city. There's so many things I want to do. I don't know how much time I have, so I want to get as much done as possible.
Okay. You make your way down to the first floor. And he shows you to the art galleries. You can see them in large glass rooms with paintings of all different styles, sculptures, just every form of physical art that you could find on display here within the various galleries.
So they have like abstract art?
However,
what's like... once
you pass the ones that are most central, there is a layer of dust that seems to cover much here. You can see some footprints in the dust, but it's clear that there is an image that is presented on the face, and that the things that are not immediately seen are not quite as well cared for.
I wonder if that applies to anything else in Mahalanka. I wonder if this is a metaphor for how maybe she treats her people. All right. I just assume that it's shitty art, and that's why they didn't care about, keeping it clean. And I go to the next floor.
Okay. Next brings you up to the concert halls, and it's the same things, albeit that the nice area is much smaller because less people actually go through the process of exploring every floor. And as you go up, once you're reaching the around floor 10, the dust becomes more and more common.
I will at this point now, probably it's dawning on me, remark to 4763. Why is it so dusty up here? Did you not get anyone to come through and sort of clean, or no?
My sincere apologies. We will have someone clean this immediately for you.
It's not for my benefit. It's just for whoever else might come. I mean, I've already seen and appreciated everything that this room and this floor has to offer. But just I've noticed, perhaps they're less explored. I mean, this one, there's footprints. You can see there's footprints. I don't know how long those have been there because there's dust on the footprints. So a footprint was stepped in the dust and then more dust came on top of the footprint afterwards. So that's a while. I mean, it's fine. I'm just curious, that's all.
It looks at the dust. It looks at the footprint. There's a momentary pause. You hear almost the sound of something whirring within. This will be taken care of quickly. Thank you for your understanding.
Of course. Thank you for showing me. We may as well be making our way back to my friends. I'm sure they've finished up right about now.
Of course. Do you wish the stairs?
Oh, of course, you know it. Unless, do you prefer taking the, what do we call that sort of up and down zoomy box? That doesn't really quite have a ring to it, does it? It elevates up and down and it descends. A descenderator.
Which you could also say it lifts you up.
The transport tubes are the more efficient way of traveling the archaeology towers, yes.
Ah, yes. And these towers, the three of them, were these here for some time? I mean, they're incredibly built structures. I've never seen anything like them.
I am uncertain of their origin. I will request that information for you.
Thank you very much. And with that, Adramalik will step into the transport tube with Force 763 and shoop up to his friends.
All right. You head up.
When you get into the room, Dirham's reading a book and Mountain's pushing the bed, and he says, "Yeah, this is pretty loud. I can see why they like." Oh, hey, Adramalik.
Oh, welcome back.
Yes, you two should really bother checking out all these other floors, especially after they're doing some dusting. It was a little dusty on around the 10th floor or so, but they are incredible. I mean, absolutely stunning. There's this one of this foot. It was a statue of a person, but the feet were his hands. I mean, the level of detail to it. Absolutely incredible. I don't know what you mean by that, but Uber, he has hands on both. They're posable thumbs.
Right.
But yes, Uber. Truly incredible.
All roads lead back. Anyway.
Dirham closes the.
I want to see your room. Let's go to your room, and I'll.
Very well. And Adramalik will lead his friends to his room. Does he have a key, or does it just swing open?
When you touch it, you feel a momentary, almost buzz at your fingertips. There's a brief glow, and then the door opens.
Oh, that was weird. That was cool. Does that work on anyone else's door? Can I try opening your door, Mountain?
Sure.
I go over to Mountain's door and I put my hand on the pad thing.
You feel the brief buzz, but it does not open.
Ooh, privacy.
Oh. How does it know? We both have oh no, because your hands are bigger. That makes sense. I should try Dirham's door. And then he'll scurry down the hallway over to where Dirham's door is, and he'll put his hand on that one.
And again, you feel the buzz, but it does not open.
Curious. Dirham, give me your hand, Dirham.
What?
Dirham, give me your hand. Hold up your hand.
He's being sciencey. You should encourage him.
Put it up to my. There we go. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Are our hands roughly the same size?
I don't know. Are your hands roughly the same size?
How tall are y'all? How big are your hands?
I presume Dirham is of a larger sort than Adramalik, unless Adramalik is like well built. But
no, I'm definitely very
Slight.
lanky and small.
yeah, just on his like physical attributes,
Yeah.
Dirham is pretty built. He's like pink matter kind of, you know. It's a dense musculature.
So my hand being smaller, I'm like, it's the hand size. That's what it was. Okay. 4763. My
Can
friend
you go in
here,
your room? I just want to see the room.
Yeah, let's see the room.
Okay. I just want to make sure Uber can get to the room too. If we get separated, he needs to be able to get in. Can he
Put his
access?
little paw on the thing.
Okay, I have Uber. Put your paw on the thing right there on that pad.
Puts the hand, immediately jerks it back from the tingle.
Oh,
Weird.
Did my room open to Uba's paw?
No.
Oh, shoot. I thought maybe because he was tied to my essence. Okay. Dang. 4763, can I request that Uba is added to be able to open my door?
Of course.
Thank you.
Please
How long will that take?
Press the monkey's hand to the pad.
Oh, go ahead, Uba.
Very trepidatiously putting the hand to it again, touches it, immediately jerks back again from the weird tingling, but the door opens this time.
There you go, buddy. All right, if we ever get separated, I'll meet you back here, okay? I'm kidding, that was a joke. We'll never be separated. Oh, come here, you. Yes. Oh, that's a grape. You want a grape? I bet you there's grapes inside. Let's go. You go into
There
the
are
room.
grapes inside. The room itself is opulent, is the only word that can be used to describe it. Gold just decorating every corner of this room. You see the finest sheets atop the most pillowy mattress that you've ever slept on. The walls themselves just exquisitely painted in a mosaic of wildlife and nature, of epic battles, and of the finest facsimiles of art, of things that you see similar to what you saw in the art galleries. And yes, you see grapes, oranges, bananas, fruit just in bowls around the room.
I think Azramalik almost faints backwards through the door into Mountain and Diro.
I'll catch your pretend faint, and I'm like, come on, buddy, let's go.
This is incredible. I've never seen such opulence. It is the most remarkable room I've ever been in my entire life.
That's saying something coming from a Simius.
This is. I'm at a loss for words.
Are
Thank you.
the rooms to your likings, looking at all three of you?
Very much so.
Yes, they'll do.
If there are any improvements you would need, please do not hesitate to ask.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Thank you.
Do
You
I
may
have
go,
nice
he
clothes?
says pointedly to the creature.
It gives a slight
Doesn't.
bow, turns, and leaves.
Well, how do you all say? Want to go out and check out the town? See what this city has to offer? No? Well, what do you mean, no?
I
You went
mean,
out
we're
when
going to
we were
get
in-
caught up in some nonsense because that's what happens every time we go out, and then we're going to be late for dinner, which is
Oh,
going to insult the
no.
queen. Yes.
No.
So
It'll
I'm
be
going to
quick,
wash
it'll be
up. I'm going to wash
fun.
up some clothes, and we're going to have dinner with the queen like we're supposed to. And then tomorrow, when we're not on a deadline in like 3 hours, then we'll go and explore.
Oh, but there's so much time. You do have to come with me. At least get some food. Try some sampling. I mean,
Why would we
that
get food? We're
infinite
about to eat dinner
chest-
with a queen, and there's food in your room.
Well, I mean, this is food that we're accustomed to, but you must sample local cuisine.
We're
I mean,
going to do that at the dinner that we're all going
I
to
know,
have
but wouldn't it be
together.
appropriate to know what the local dishes are called? Gaining
No.
that kind of knowledge could be pretty good if we're going to try and impress the queen, show that we appreciate and recognize her culture. Yes, Adiram, right? You agree with me, yes?
I would like to take a walk about.
You're both killing me.
No,
you You can stay.
I'm not
And
going to
make sure
stay
at
if
least
we're all
one of
going to
us
get in
stays
trouble.
on.
We'll all get in trouble. It'll be what it is.
No, we're not going to get in trouble. We can keep track of
We're
time.
going to
It'll
be
be fine.
late.
Mountain, either way, it stands to reason that we need to know what this place is about, especially when we're about to meet the queen.
All right, how many hours do we have? I say, looking at the sun on my arm.
You are a solar. Maybe
We-
you
You
channel 5
instinctively
modes.
know by spending one
We,
mote
we both spend a mote.
that it is a little after noon at this point, so you do have a few hours.
We can go. We spend 2 hours out. Then we come back. We get ready, and then we go to dinner. Yes, 2 hours.
2.5?
2 hours.
2 hours and 15 minutes, please.
Uba
please,
needs a
please,
bath.
please. Okay, that's right. Oh, but you do kind of smell.
No.
It's not your fault. Look, I'll give you the special grapes, the big grapes, okay? All right?
Grapes are white.
Not the tiny green ones, the special big grapes. If you take a bath, yes?
Fine.
Good boy, good Uber. All right, let's go. This is going to be so much fun.
Mountain in the back is just like, we're never gonna make it back.
Thank you so much for taking the time to enjoy our show. Come back next week for the next part of our adventure, or join our Patreon for early access to the next episode, as well as a Patreon exclusive campaign of Rippers. Join our wonderful patrons Bubble Dirt and Nova Phoenix in supporting this show. And of course, don't forget to check out our tutorials and video plays on YouTube at The RPG Blender. If you want to stay up to date on our releases, you can join our Discord. Check the description for a link. Don't have Discord? No worries. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at RPG Blender, or subscribe on your podcast app of choice. Music is The Punk Rock Show by My Free Mickey. Copyright 2012, licensed under Creative Commons Attribution License. Thank you again, and remember, there's gaming outside the Forgotten Realms. Fun fact, if you had kept your Zenith, you would have actually gotten a message from the sun, but you went Dawn instead. They're the only ones that get a message.
Oh, interesting.
I hate you. Uncool,
Is a little
son.
hungover.
No, it's usually like a 1 to 2 word, basically directive of what they should try to do.
Oh, I did get that.
But you didn't anymore because you retconned yourself out of Zenith.
Oh, all right.
You made yourself a Dawn, my friend. I tried to give you the leader role. Didn't want it.
I mean, I'm still doing a great job leading Deer to be
Everybody
the leader.
knows I'm the leader.
Anyway,